This is a big weekend. It's a weekend of the Tryp rollout, a new rideshare service. Let's talk about it. Welcome everyone, Mark here with UberHints. Before we get started, if you are not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe right now by clicking my face down there at the corner and ring the bell icon so you know when I post new videos. So this weekend was a weekend of the Tryp rollout. I've been seeing a lot of different dates online. Tryp itself said the 16th. I've seen other sources say the 18th. Regardless, it's this weekend. And it looks like it's rolling out in a lot of cities. According to what I've seen online, Boise, a couple of cities in Arizona, including Phoenix. I'm seeing Oregon, a lot of cities in Ohio. I believe even Florida is rolling out this weekend. So I wanted to talk a little bit about Tryp. Now, granted, my information might be just a tad flawed, but I went on their website. I remember investigating them a long time ago, like 6 months ago, and it seems things have changed just a little bit. Back then, it really looked more like a multi-level marketing type thing, and I don't really feel good about that. If that's still the way that Tryp is operating, it makes me feel really uncomfortable. I'm okay with referral fees. When it comes to you're making money off the next guy who's making money off the next guy, I don't like that because it ends up being just a recruiting mechanism. And there are going to be people on top that will never, ever ride, and they're pouring in money on the backs of all the people that do. I don't really like that because that has the potential to be a pyramid scheme. Now, I don't know if that's still happening anymore or if they've really changed their approach. But online, of course, the big thing everybody's loving about this is we are able as drivers to keep 100% of the fare. Now, I thought that the monthly fee was $200, and I look online and it says $79.99, but wait, there are caveats. The $200 fee was still correct. Also, something I couldn't find, but I sure recall seeing it, was a startup fee, and it was something like $350 just to initially get started. I'm a little uneasy with some of these fees. I really don't feel comfortable with companies where you have to pay money in order to work. I'm not saying it's bad or it can't work out. I'm saying I'm just a little uneasy with it, and we'll come to that in just a minute. You get 100% of wait fees, 100% of cancellation fees. So now let's talk about what it costs. Again, the initiation fee, I have not been able to find any more information on that. If you're still paying $350, I'm not real good with it because they say, well, they'll give you, at one point they did anyways, we'll give you a 10-day trial. Well, what are you going to know in 10 days? You still have to end up paying that fee anyways. It's not like in 10 days, if you don't like it, you can get off the platform. They're still going to charge you the initiation fee. What I'm finding is a lot of people online are being a little overly optimistic. And the reason I think that's happening is because of the recruitment element. I think they're trying to paint a very rosy picture so they can get a lot of people to sign up under their referral code. And of course, that's the reason they do it that way, right? That's the reason they have it set up in that multi-level marketing approach, because that's exactly what they want. They want to keep bringing on more and more people quickly. So that makes me feel a little uncomfortable. Having said that, let's look at the fee structure. There's $79.90. I'm just going to average it, round it off to the nearest dollar. So $80, which is just I think they call that the gig thing or something like that. They have a little cute name for it. But you can take up to 60 rides a month. So you pay them $80, and you have to, and you're limited. You can give up to 60 rides and then you're done. For a lot of us that are weekend warriors, that might be all we ever need. Then they have the 140, which is basically double. You can do 120 rides, and then for the $200, you can do the unlimited ride. So that is how they do it. Now, from a rider perspective, you get points. For every ride, I think they said you get 25 points, and then for everyone you refer, you get a number of points, and I think you also get a little money from them in the multi-level scheme. I'm sorry. Freudian slip. I'm not saying it's a scam. Please understand that. But I'm not sure if you keep getting money from that person or you just get that initial big chunk, that 100 points or whatever. I'm not sure how the points play out, what a point is worth, but I do know every time you take a ride, you get points, and I assume you can cash those in for future rides. Now, here are my concerns, and hopefully some of you who have been driving or riding can chime in down below and fill in the gaps here. Number one, it's brand new, and quite frankly, if I have not been in this rideshare world, I would not even have heard about it. Of course, it's not in my market, so there's a good possibility they're doing heavy-duty advertising in the cities where it rolled out. But other than in our little community, I have not heard a single word about Tryp. So I wonder, are the riders going to be there? You know, we pump in all this money and we buy our membership or whatever they call it, our activation, and now we sit and we don't get any rides. That's my first concern. My second concern, I didn't see anything there about the rates. So they say we get to keep 100% of everything, but what is that? What are the rates? As we know, with Uber and Lyft, they vary from market to market. You know, Uber is anywhere from, I've seen it as low as, 53 cents up to $1.30 a mile. I don't know what the Tryp rates are. So without knowing what the rates are, it's really hard to say if it's going to be profitable. Because I have to cover my nut, my $80 or 100 and whatever numbers I said, 80, 140 or $200. I got to cover that before I make dime one. Not only that, depending how long I'm going to drive, I have to cover that initial sign-up fee, initiation fee, or whatever they call it. So I want to know what the base fare is that riders are paying. I want to know how many riders there are. I want to know what their support mechanism is. I haven't found any information on that. Do they have a 24-hour hotline? Is it well manned? Do they have something comparable to the Uber hub in your area where you can drop in and physically talk to people? So what type of support system does Tryp have? I'm putting a lot of these questions out because I don't have the answers. It's not in my market, and what I'm finding online is not real clear. So I encourage those of you who started driving or even who started taking rides this weekend to leave some comments down below, because these are really important questions. And the big daddy, how are we insured? As you know, Uber and Lyft have insurance while we are on rides. And I know people say it's really crummy insurance, but it's insurance. You know, someone gets badly hurt, injured, or God forbid, killed in my vehicle. I want there to be some insurance. And I have not been able to find anything on how Tryp is insured. So those are my concerns right now about Tryp. It might end up being a very, very good thing. I know a lot of drivers have been super excited because they get to keep everything. But remember, it's a double-edged sword. You're also paying money up front. You're paying money up front. And some of you say, well, I can make $200 really easy. Sometimes I might do that if I have 2 long rides. Like in my case, when I take an Uber to Chicago, that's a $130 ride for the rider, and I get like 105 of that, something like that. So if I have a couple of those in my month, that $200 is covered with 2 rides. Everything else is gravy. But I don't know, because I don't know what the rates are. I don't know how many people are going to be driving. There's just too many unknowns at this point. But it is exciting nonetheless that another player is entering the game. It's supposed to be in a lot of cities. If you are in Akron, if you're in Cleveland, if you're in Phoenix, any of those cities, Boise, where this, I think Salt Lake City might have it, where this is rolling out, did it come to fruition? Was what it said on the website true? Did this really happen? I am so curious. I so want to hear what you had to say. So that's it. As always, I encourage you to leave your comments down below. Please like and share the videos. If you're not already subscribed, please subscribe to the channel and ring that bell icon so you know when I post new videos. Thanks for joining me, everyone. I'm Mark with UberHints.